What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Yanks of the Cop. Sorry about the technical issues with the live broadcast, but
not working. All right, hold on.
So this says for me, Yanks of the Cop waiting at 10 p.m.
Now try it.
Oh, now it's gone.
Here we go.
All right, awesome.
What's up, everyone? Sorry about the technical difficulties. We are back. I am Steven, alongside my brother Scans and our London correspondent, homie. We are Yanks of the Cop. Thanks for joining. If you haven't yet, go hit that like and subscribe button and leave your comments in the comment section. We'd love to get to them this episode. This is our first ever live stream, so bear with us. This should be a fun one. But let's kick it off with our opening statement. Jay Pearson, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate you. All right, so to get into the opening statements, I think we need to start with the news that just came out over in Istanbul, and that is there's no room for racism in here, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that the fourth official is is harassing and being racist towards players on the pitch is absolutely disgraceful, absolutely ridiculous, and I expect to see the full punishment go down on this individual. If FIFA and UEFA let this guy off the hook and it's an absolute joke, I never want to see this person back on the sideline. I'm not even going to use his name. I don't know his name. I'm not going to look it up. He doesn't deserve that. This guy just deserves to be banished from professional football and never to be seen from again.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, Stephen. I think it's disgraceful. I think it's sad that we're still in 2020 and racism is still an issue. And we saw it in Millwall game recently when the FA did nothing about it as far as I'm concerned. And we're seeing it again tonight. And I think it's disgraceful, that we're having this racism issues. And I think also I'm a bit disappointed with Tuchel because there's a video of Tuchel, trying to side with the referee, the fourth official, instead of taking all his players off, trying to stop the game and keep the game on. So I'm quite disappointed with him because I thought, that's a chance for him as a manager to say no to racism. So, hopefully, like I said, UEFA come down hard on him, which I doubt it because UEFA are corrupt. But, it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, I think you guys kind of hit the nails on the head there. I think that obviously there's no room for racism in football. I think that the one good thing that came out of tonight was that the players are no longer standing for it. They are completely in agreement. They're going to walk off the pitches, and that's what should be done. These guys, they put their heart and soul on the line every game for us, and they don't deserve to be treated like animals. We're all equal, and we all make the game great. It's a world sport, so let's start treating it that way.
All right, and let's get into the rundown.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm gonna check out Chris Welch's comment right now. Hey, United's back into the Europa League. Let's start there. Absolutely bottle job. I love watching from United. They won their first two games of the group, and now they're back into Europa. They absolutely blew it. I actually absolutely love to see it. They have no business being in fifth place in the Premier League right now, let alone going into Champions League football. I saw a tweet earlier from, I can't believe I'm even going to say his name on here, United Ellis. He tweeted out making fun of Arsenal for being in the Europa League. Well, they got some company in there now, buddy. Right back at you. So really happy to see that. Do you guys even want to comment on United, or should we get into the good stuff?
Oh, you have to comment on United. Ollie's at the wheel. Ollie is at the wheel. And Steven, please don't ever mention United Ellis ever again. He does not deserve to be on this show during a live stream. But yeah, they deserve to be in Europa League. That's where they belong. It's Leipzig took it to him. Early on, and it's finally come back and bite them in the ass. To be honest, it's just it's what you all want to. It's what we all wanted to see as Liverpool supporters.
Yeah, I agree. I just agree with both of you. United even tried to cheat their way because it's debatable. Pogba's second goal, whether that was actually even a goal, looked like it was handball, Maguire. So I'm just glad that they're in Europa League, and it's a great day whenever United lose. So And the whole Pogba thing as well, with him making a big issue with the agent as well. Just love it. So good luck to them. Thursday night football.
Well, dude, that Pogba point. It feels like his agent is in the news like every 2 months. I feel like this guy, what's his name, Raniola or something like that. Like this guy, yeah. I feel like goes out of his way to make sure his name and one of his clients is in the news every other month. Like, I don't know. Like, I understand. Like, they're not getting the most out of Pogba. Okay, moving on. That guy's just annoying. I can't talk about United anymore. I don't even want to speak the words Pogba. Let's get into some Liverpool news. With the three people being linked to some contract talks. That's Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, and Fabinho. And I think this year, especially, most years, has really highlighted the importance of these three guys. So I'll kick it over to you guys. What are your thoughts on these three possibly getting an extension and a pay raise? And on top of that, which one is the most important to you out of all of them?
I want to hear what homie go first here.
I think for me, the most important obviously is Gini because, it should have been done in the summer, to be honest, and all the stuff about whether, when people are saying sell Gini for Thiago, I think Gini just needs to be paid what he wants, and I feel understands his final contract, let him end, so of course he's going to want a big payment, so let him end it. He should be in a higher earner, because I think, isn't he under 100 grand or something right now? He should be earning well over that. And I think, given what he wants, we're paying Milner over 100 grand. Thiago's on well over 100 grand, and they're over the age of 30. So I don't think there's any excuse to not give Gini what he wants. And where would we be without him this season? He's been arguably our best player. So get it done for me, and I think also after that, get Hendo and Fabinho signed up. Get them all signed up because they're crucial to us. So getting these players locked in is going to be secure Liverpool's future and give us that extra drive going into January and the year going on.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement that these three players need to be re-signed. The most contentious one, I think, is definitely Gini Wijnaldum. I'm seeing a lot of fans on Twitter saying he doesn't deserve a new contract. We have enough midfielders as it is, but it's funny. I was just looking at his contract, and right now Gini is making £75,000 per week. Now, to put that in perspective, Taki Minamino, who was just signed, was also given £75,000 per week. And again, James Milner, who's 34 years old and rarely plays when everybody's fully fit, is making £140,000 per week. So clearly, I think Gini's in the right. He definitely deserves more money. Whether that's 2 to 3 years of a contract, I'm not sure, but I would definitely double his wages. I think he deserves at least 140 grand per week. Jordan Henderson's making that amount. I think it would make sense for them both to be around 140, 150. And then Fabinho, obviously, we're seeing his class that he's brought to the club. Obviously, he's a fantastic center defensive midfielder. He was getting a lot of shouts as one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world in that position. But now we're seeing how flexible he is and how adaptable he is to the game. He can also play center back, and he's very reliable back there. He's kept numerous clean sheets against some of the best forwards in the world, including Lewandowski in the Champions League. So, he's on £100,000 per week. So I think he definitely deserves something new. I would put him between 150, 175. All three of these guys are absolutely essential to our run for the Premier League or the Champions League.
Yeah, I think we can all agree Henderson's probably the most important guy. Obviously, the captain and his role on the team. But, I do just want to say my two piece on Fabinho and Wijnaldum. Again, like you said, all the points you just said, Andrew. Without Wijnaldum, this team might be in shambles right now. We probably wouldn't be looking at, having a rest tomorrow and being, top of the group, just behind on goal differential. And also Fabinho. He talk about a guy just willing to do whatever he has to do to make the job, make the team successful. Playing defensive mid, one of the best defensive mid in the world. Not even just saying the Premier League. And now we're seeing too, he's one of the best center backs in the Premier League as well. So, he's been absolutely valuable. And I think one thing to point out too is with these three guys, you think about Van Dijk and Alisson, this is really just going to lock down the spine of the team. Having Robertson and Trent also, out back, we just be in a really good position going forward, in a really good position to be a dominant team for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So I'm all for it. I think this is a great move for the guys.
I think Trent and Robertson are only making like 40,000 pounds per week and 50,000 pounds per week, respectively. I mean, they're not making much either, so I would expect them to have new contracts soon too. Lock them down.
Yeah, hopefully. They deserve it. I'm surprised if they're on that kind of contract and not making a fuss about it. You know, even like Mane. Even Mane's on like under like he's like on £100 grand or something.
Yeah, he's not making too much.
So yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. I have to do a little Ginny One Aldham celebration. I see you, Chris, in the chat, so put that out there for you. But then going from there, let's talk about some potential new people coming in. I think one of the topics, obviously, center back position, probably going to be bolstering in January, if not summertime, 100%. We've seen the Upamecano links, but now especially recently, the center back from Ajax has been linked to us. Sure, he's been. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think he's been really solid in the back, and then now as well as Konate. So, what are your two guys' thoughts on those two guys specifically? How do you think they could fit with our team, and do you think that either one of those guys are a move that we should make?
Yeah, I think each of them are very good centre backs. I think obviously there's a lot of debate. I think some people favour Konate as a better centre back, and some people favour Upamecano. But I think with now Leipzig going to the next round of the Champions League, I don't think them to leave in January. Can't see it. So I think that rules them out now with the fact that they just beat United and then now in the next round. So I think if you want one of those two, it won't be to the summer. When obviously you can get Upamecano for his release clause of 40 million euros. And I think even at Konate, apparently I saw a rumour that he's only worth 35 million euros. So with sure, I think it depends on how Ajax do tomorrow. If they get a result against Atalanta, then I can't see them selling Scher in January because of big. But if they go out of the Champions League tomorrow, then I think he could go. And apparently as well, the rumours are the fee's like 26 million pounds. So I'd be happy with either. I mean, obviously my preference would probably be Upamecano because I think he's a beast, or Konate. But I'd happy with either. I think either would be amazing under Klopp and would give us amazing depth. But I think the priority for me is we need a centre back in January. Simple as that. A centre back for me helps us win the league and the Champions League.
Yeah, I actually think that today's result for Leipzig was a double-edged sword for us. I don't think that we're going to see Upamecano or Konate come our way now that they made it to the knockout rounds. So, and I honestly didn't think we were going to pay Upamecano's money in January regardless. So, I mean, I guess it depends on. I think if Ajax lose tomorrow and Atalanta makes it over them to the knockout rounds, we could see a potential move for sure. I don't know how much that'll be for though. What homie? Do you have any numbers on that?
For how much?
Sure.
Well, the rumours were I saw it's 26 million pounds that Ajax wanted, but I'm not really sure. That's what the rumours are going around, but I can't be 100% on that.
Chris Welch is killing it in the chat. Oh my God, making me laugh over here. Yeah, I mean, I think if they lose and we make a move for him, then that's just telling me that we're going for it all. We're going for the Champions League. We're going for the Premier League. But honestly, my gut is telling me that Klopp results and the success of Reece Williams and Nat Phillips as center backs, and he might just hold steady. He might just hold on to those guys and just pray that Matip and Fabinho can hold down the fort until next season. That's really rolling the dice, though. That's really rolling the dice.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, you think about the Champions League, because of the new format now, it really is only knockout games. So maybe it's not as bad as playing home and away. So there's less games in the Champions League. So if you get a lucky draw and you avoid a big team up until the semi-final, there's not too really bad. So yeah. I think you could also play by the luck of draw to see who you're going to get.
Yeah.
How are they doing that, by the way? Is it just so it's going to be one game and hopefully you're the lucky team that gets the home game, or is it the top seed in the top? If you're a 1 seed, you're automatically the home team. Do we know how that works?
I think it was like last season they just played a neutral venue, but it's just one leg knockout game.
So that's last neutral venue though.
Yeah, because I think they had the quarterfinals, second leg still to play before lockdown, so they did that. Then after that, it was knockout stages. So a neutral venue is knockout game.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. But going back to the debate here, I honestly, when I think about us potentially adding a guy in January, I think it would have to be Schurz. I think he really is the only guy that makes sense from a target standpoint. Because when you really think about it, going into the season, I know we wanted another guy for depth, but when you have a guy like Joe Gomez who's developing and really shaping up to be one of the best center backs in the Premier League already at a young age, I think it's important to not stunt his growth in any way. And I think a guy like Schurz, he could potentially, be your third or fourth option and be okay not starting every single game. Whereas you bring in a Upamecano and maybe even a Konate, these guys are going to be expecting to start game in, game out. So especially in terms of well-being for the entire team and a guy who's willing to play a little bit of a lesser role when we're incredibly healthy, I think Schurz would be the guy.
Yeah, I think it's well said.
Yeah. But let's get into the actual game now. So obviously, we've never been here before under Klopp. Going into the last game, already have the top spot locked down. Don't have to work too hard. We can pretty much go with all the young guys. Is that what you're expecting? Are we pretty much just going to see the U23 team out there?
Yeah, I was debating this earlier today. I think because of the players who are coming back, Ox. Well, I think actually they said Ox this is going to be too soon for him actually, but
yeah,
I think he'll give Kate and Trent a start tomorrow because to get them legs and minutes. I have a feeling he will do that because of fitness, and also because of the turnaround of games got next week. He'll want, because we've got next week 3 games in the space of 7 days. So that's going to be a big ask. So I think they either will start or they'll play 30 minutes of the game. Either start or play 30 minutes of it. Could bring them on. But otherwise, I think most of it should be youth players, the way I was thinking it, And most of the youth players that we had, like Boner, Stewart, they should all be playing. Leighton Clarkson, Kane, they should all be playing. And then I'd still play Kelly in goal. I wouldn't touch Adrian. And then just put Origi and Ramin on top.
What about Jaros?
Yeah, it could be him. But I just think it's going to be Kelleher's last game with Alisson coming back for Fulham. So I might as well just let him have the last game as a sending off.
I agree with most of that. I think that the kids are definitely going to be playing in this one. It's a good time for them to gain some experience. But I don't want to see Trent or Keita or Ox anywhere near the pitch. If one of them, I don't think Ox is obviously going to play. I don't even think he's traveling. But if one of them got injured, I could never forgive Klopp for that. It's a pointless game. It doesn't mean anything. Give them the rest. We've been talking about how these guys need rest all season long. Keita is just coming back from an injury. We both thought, homie, that he got injured when who was the guy who fell on his back last game? He's just an injury waiting to happen. I don't think he should be playing in this game. Trent, he got that great assist or put that great ball through to Mane and Mo, but neither of them should be touching the pitch. Neither of them should be sniffing it. Just don't even bring him onto the trip. So it's just keep him here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be full young guys, 100%, right across the board. I mean, looking at our Champions League lineup, I mean, I feel like our back four is pretty much locked down. It's going to be Tsimikas, Reece Williams, Nico Williams, and probably Billy the Kid, which I'm super psyched to see Billy the Kid back in there. Really, the biggest question is probably going to be in the midfield. We got a lot of options there for younger guys. Clarkson, Kane, Longstaff, Glatzel, Dixon Bonner. Technically, Yasser LaRouche still around, I think, as well. And then up top, I think we'll probably see some Taki Minamino, probably some Divock Origi, maybe Leighton Stewart to line up next to them. I'm not sure. Liam Miller. But, yeah, I just think we got to this position. Don't fuck around with it. Don't fuck around with Trent. Don't fuck around with Keita, especially since Keita seems to be made of glass and he'll probably be back on the disabled list soon anyway. Let's just make sure that he stays healthy, get these guys ready for Fulham. Like Fulham's the game if you're going to play them for 60 minutes or 30 minutes. That's the game to do it, because bottom of the table, there's no reason why that should be a competitive game. Now that I said that, probably will be. But, especially if we can start quickly against Fulham, then you can play Keita and Trent for 25, 30 minutes on a better pitch than probably Midtjylland's going to be, and without the travel. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I think just rent Trent. Then he starts next game against Fulham. He has to start. I think Nico, he got his time. I think he did well towards the end of it. But now it's Trent. It's time for Trent to come back in.
Yeah, we'll see. I just heard like some things that people are saying that Jota, Trent, and Keita might start tomorrow.
It's just unnecessary to me. And you know what, homie? The chat agrees with me.
I agree. I don't think any should play. But that's what I was hearing. I don't think any should play. I think they should all be rested.
Yeah.
Well, of the young guys, who are you most excited to see?
I'm actually disappointed that Glatzel is injured, because I think he would have been a great player for this, because he's got a lot of potential. Probably I'm looking forward to Leighton Clarkson, because they talk of him like being the new Steven Gerrard. I'm looking forward to seeing Reece Williams again. Yeah, that's what people are saying. He's supposed to be that good. I'm looking forward to Reece Williams again, and give him a run out. And probably just seeing how like the other ones do, like if he plays Kane, late what's his name? Longstaff.
Longstaff.
Yeah.
Longstaff, yeah. Just see a bit of them more, because obviously it's going to be a step up in class, because they're going to be playing against men in Midtjylland, even though they're a great team. So yeah, just kind of seeing who them lot to kind of shine.
Yeah, I think I'm more focused on the back four. I just really want to see how Nico Williams does without the cover of Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, Joel Matip, and all those senior players. I want to see if he can actually properly defend against a decent attack. And let's not forget, Midtjylland actually gave us some problems when we had our full squad against them last time. So I'm excited to see Billy for sure. I want to see his potential, his aerial prowess, I think, is what everybody's been talking about. And he seems to be pretty good with his feet since the last time we saw him. And I would expect Reece Williams to maybe show a little bit of leadership. Obviously, he's had a little bit of experience in the Champions League. So I'd like to see him back there kind of yelling at the guys and getting everybody going. But I think Samikas is really the only one who can really present a danger for Midtjylland. So I would like to see him show his capabilities. Obviously, we all spoke a lot about him when we signed him over the late summer. So I think he needs to have a big game.
Well, Henry in the chat had an interesting point. For him, it's a mentality thing. He actually sides with you a little bit more, Rahomi. It looks like saying that Trent and Keita might need some extra minutes, but for him, it's the mentality thing. Even if it means nothing, we should still show and play the Liverpool way, just like the Aston Villa Cup game. So, listen, I get it. I totally agree. But hey, listen, this is an opportunity for the young kids to show that they can play the Liverpool way without the leaders in the team. I think that's a huge opportunity for them. And again, just with our industry problems and knowing that we still have about 6 or 7 games before the new year even hits, like we need our first team guys to be fresh and be ready for this stretch. If we can get through this stretch, we're going to be in good shape. So I understand what you're saying. Respectfully disagree. So anyway, somebody else that's back in training, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Awesome. Obviously, huge fan favorite. Everyone seems to love him. I think that out of all the guys that are injured, even more than Shaqiri, I think he could have a monster impact on this team going forward. I just think we're missing a guy like him who, when he has space, he can take it quickly and then, be creative enough to either rip a shot or set his guys up. So what do you guys think of Ox coming back and what type of a role he can have going forward?
Yeah, I think I told you about this earlier. Obviously sometimes in the past I've been a bit critical of Ox because of injuries, and also because of his performances. I felt before he was injured that although he was scoring good long-range goals, I didn't feel that he was offering enough defensively. But I'm glad to have him back because we need an extra body in midfield. Like I think back to some of the games we've had recently, where Ox would have been amazing to have had, as just the extra cover. So he will offer something different because he's going to be perfect for the 4-2-3-1. You can play him if you want to rest a Firmino or a Salah and play him behind the front three in that 10 role, and you just allow him just to attack and not have to do that much defending. So his long range goals and his linking up with a forward play would be crucial. He can also play wing back. So we have an issue where Trent's injured, or we don't want to play Nico Williams. He can also play wing back, and he's done it well there. He played well in the FA Cup game and was arguably one of the man of the match of that game. So I think him being back is going to be huge. Obviously, the thing with him now is just how is that new injury going to have taken a bit more pace off of him? And is it going to be playing on his mind in terms of his overall gameplay? Like if he dives into a challenge, is he going to be thinking, well, I can't challenge because of the knee? So I hope it hasn't taken away pace from him. But yeah, his drive, he offers something different that no one else does. So it's great to have him back, and he's going to be definitely needed, over these fixed congestions, and he's going to be a great person to have at the bench. Like you need a goal to bring an Ox, and he can take a long range shot or run at people. So he's a huge bonus.
Yeah, I think you made an interesting point there. I never really considered him as being an option just because he's been injured for so long and so often as a possible 10 for the 4-2-3-1. I mean, I think that's pretty much like what we had in mind when we bought the guy. He's and what we've seen from him, he's a danger in one-on-one situations. He can rip a shot from pretty much anywhere outside the box, and that's something that I think this team lacks a lot of the times, especially against a low block, is somebody that can just take one touch and rip a shot and pressure the goalkeeper, and that creates a lot of space when you're on the attack. So that could be huge for us going forward. But just to kind of piggyback off of what Wahomie was saying, I mean, he's just a huge boost to the squad, both on and off the pitch. I mean, he is just such a big personality off the pitch. All the lads love him. Klopp loves him. The fans love him. But I think the biggest thing, obviously, is on the pitch because we need numbers in the midfield. And now with Ox coming back, hopefully next week, we'll have Keita, Ox, Hendo, Jones, Gini, and Milner would be coming back soon. And then after the new year, hopefully we'll see Thiago. But I mean, it's just a great sign to see that everybody's starting to get healthy, and it's at the perfect time. Second half of the season, we can end this season on top and go with the full fitness, and we're good to go.
All right, guess I'm making some bets here with Henry. Henry, what's the bet, man? What are we betting? Well, he gets back. Yeah, I know.
Henry's making bets.
Yeah, I want to see. I mean, what do I win when I'm right? That's the key question. But we'll get to that in a second. Before we get to our official prediction, I mean, listen, we've talked about it a lot on here. This is the first time that we've really had the day off, give our team a breather, and really just kind of rest going into this last game. We finally got what we were looking for, getting this rest. I mean, what do you guys think? How vital is just having this week off going into Fulham? And more importantly, Tottenham midweek next week. How important is this?
Well, I think it's huge because I tweeted earlier last night, actually, the fact that, we have to play Fulham Sunday, then Spurs 8 p.m. on the Wednesday, then we play away to Palace 12:30 a.m. on the Saturday. That's like 3 games in the space of 7 days. That's brutal. Obviously, luckily Palace also have to play 8 o'clock on the Wednesday as we do, and then play Arsenal obviously early morning. So, and they've got West Ham away. That's going to be a tough game for them. But I think it's going to stretch the team, and I think we're going to have to see changes. And I think the fact that obviously we're getting healthier people back now is huge because we can make these changes. We can go to away at Fulham and give I don't know, play Keita or Trent, or and then bring on Ox for a couple of minutes as well, and actually have that change. And actually have the options now. And especially, if we can get Milner and Shaq back as well, that gives us different variations, because the Tottenham game is going to be huge. It's going to take huge effort. So to be able to have Ox or Keita or Nico stuff to then go Palace away, play even or Phillips, because Palace are to be like Benteke and Mitrovic, so they're going to be like lots of balls. To have the different options is going to be huge for us, and that's going to help us get us through, this difficult winter period. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm seeing as well, like change the Fulham game. So I think it's great that we're having players back, and I think the rest of the league should be scared, and should be actually scared of the fact that Liverpool have had all these injuries and are still second, if you want to be by goal difference, won our Champions League group. The fact that we've had so many players missing, now these players are coming back fit. How good are we going to be now? So that's like the rest of the league should be scared.
Who would you play up top, Mahomie, against Fulham?
Well, I played Jota because he didn't play against Wolves, so I'd give him a run.
Yeah.
I'd give Mane a drop, I'd give him a rest, because I think he should just give him a breather. I want him for Spurs because I think his pressing is going to be crucial for the Spurs game to give Mane a breather. I just played Jota, Bobby, and Salah up front.
You don't think this could be a good game for the 4-2-3-1?
No, I'd
put all four up top.
I think 4-2-3-1, but don't start all four up top. I think do a 4-2-3-1. I think definitely risk Mane. You could go with somebody like Minamino, maybe even Origi on top of it, and then throw Salah with them as well. Something like that. That way you can risk the guys.
If he's going to do 4-2-3-1, then he's got to play a Hendo and a Keita. Because I think the reason why I'm saying that is because Keita's played a 2 at Leipzig and he was world class in it. That was his game. And I think when you're playing a 4-2-3-1, one of your midfielders has to be good at creating and actually linking up play with attackers and actually being able to create stuff with the ball. Otherwise, it becomes stale in the middle of the park, and that's why we struggled with the 4-2-3-1. When it's Hendo and Gini, I don't think they work as a 2 because they're too similar. You need something else differently. So I would only do that if you're playing Keita, but I wouldn't play Keita. I wouldn't start Keita against Fulham because I think obviously his fitness. So I'd rather stay with the 4-3-3.
Yeah, I was just playing a little devil's advocate there. I think they're definitely going to go with a 4-3-3. I honestly don't know if they're going to change much. Maybe Jones goes off and Keita comes in, but I think you're right. I think Jota comes in for Mane. Mane definitely needs a break. I want Salah to keep playing because if he can keep this run of form, he just had a goal and an assist. We need to get him going.
Yeah. Agreed. And good point there brought up by Gaurav. I mean, especially with Liverpool, people still coming back from injury. It could be a good game with Fulham to go with the whole young movement still. Play a guy like Taki with Jota. They did have good link-up play in that Ajax game, like he said. So it's funny. Klopp has options for the first time, so it's going to be funny to see how it works out. But let's wrap this episode with our scoreline predictions. So I'll kick us off. I think it's going to be a rather entertaining game, especially if we go with the young guys. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. There's going to be some goals scored. I want to say 3-2 Liverpool. Young kids get it done.
I'll go ahead. I'm going to be a little realistic here. I think that Midtjylland is going to come and they're going to take their opportunities. This is the Champions League. They're going to want to win the match, and we're playing a bunch of young kids. They gave us some trouble against our full squad, like I hinted at earlier. I don't know if we're going to get the win. I think it's going to be a tough one for the young guys. I think it's going to be something like 2-1. I could see us going down and losing, unfortunately. But I would hope for a draw. I would really hope for the draw. And I mean, if a win happened, then obviously great. I stand corrected. But I think it's going to be a great experience for all these guys, regardless. And that's what Klopp is going to take away from it. And ultimately, that's what they'll take away from it.
I'm torn between a 2-1 and a 2-2.
Us winning or losing?
Yeah, us winning 2-1 or drawing 2-2. I'm torn between those two.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm torn because I think, like you said, Midtjylland they're at home, and also we're going to Denmark, so it's going to be cold, dark, because they're in their winter season now. So, and they're going to be up for it. And then they're going to be keen to make a statement on the home patch. So I think it will be a tough game with these youngsters. That's what I'm saying, 2-1 or either 2-2.
I think Henry's reaching out to you here.
Yep. So we got a bet in place. All right, Henry. You don't want this one. That's all. Nah, it's been used a lot. It's the old New Balance one. But I'll tell you what. If you do get it right, I'll buy you the brand new Nike one and send it out to you. No problem done.
Wow.
But I know I'm going to win anyway, so it doesn't matter. He's not going to start Trent and Keita. So I got that in the bag.
Well,
and also one thing people don't forget about our promotion for the Fulham game, that you enter the competition, you get a nice bottle with a Youngster Cop logo on it. So make sure you enter the competition to get your hands on one of those logos, those bottles. Because they look amazing, and I can't wait to get my one.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Gronkowski for setting that up for us. Yeah, everyone in the chat, if you haven't yet, go check out our official YouTube page. You'll see our competition right there to get some super awesome ice shaker links to the Cop water bottles. If you win, we'll mail it right to you directly. So, go ahead, follow the prompts, put your name in there. But otherwise, that pretty much wraps up this episode of Yanks of the Cop. We'll be back. Quick turnaround. We'll be back tomorrow, I believe, for the post-match reactions to this game. But if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys. The subscriptions help us get bigger guests on the pod, so we really appreciate it. And tune in. We're probably going to be doing a lot more of these live streams going forward. So we appreciate you guys. Up the Reds, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Cheers.
All the Reds.